So Marvel just keeps doubling down. What have they been doing for the past couple of days now? We're, in a little bit of a bind right now. Everybody is, okay? Tough times, one would say. Comic book shops practically begging Marvel and DC, by the way, to come out and say, hey, are you going to provide any relief for us during these hard times? Will you maybe think about letting us return comic books? Because I said in my last video, not the last Marvel video, but the one before it, where I talked about how, they're pretty much giving comic shops the cold shoulder. You have them out there asking, will you let us return these books if they don't sell? They're ghosting them. While the editor-in-chief of Marvel sits on Twitter and talks about saving local restaurants in New York because all he cares about is eating food. He lets all the other people run that business. He doesn't do anything. He's more like a figurehead to me because he has no leadership skills. He has no backbone. He's literally, in some ways, worse than Axel Alonso, who put books like this out. So we have a lot of really stupid decisions coming from the top at Marvel. Then New Mutants gets announced. New Mutants is a disaster. Everybody hates New Mutants. Everybody hates it. Even the both sides of the aisle are skewering that book right now. But here's the deal. We're all sitting here on YouTube and talking about it. Most average person, the average person who reads comics probably knows nothing about that book. Because of the median of comics, I think the median age is like 40, late 30s. Now, I don't know how many people in that age bracket are watching YouTube videos. Probably a lot of them because, well, we're all like nerdy geeks. So I'm sure a lot of them are watching these videos. But let's be honest. Most people don't know what's going on with Snowflake and Safespace in the Safespace. So they're just going to buy that book. And you know why they're going to buy that book? Because it's New Warriors. New Warriors hasn't been around in a long time. One of the benefits that book has over the book I'm about to talk about is a well-known name among people. Now, I keep calling them New Mutants because a recency effect, if you don't know what that is. So I've been more recently reading New Mutants and following that New Mutants movie. New Warriors, as far as I can remember, haven't been around in a long time. The last time I remember them being around was when Scarlet Spider was on the team in the 90s. They probably have been around since then, but they've been more niche. So that book is probably going to sell well for the first 2 to 3 issues, and then it's going to flop. It's going to flop just like this book is going to. So after revealing Snowflake and Safespace, Marvel Comics announces new America Chavez series. Now, this character has a weird history because she used to be a part of the Young Avengers. And when she was a part of the Young Avengers, she was a well-written character. People actually liked her. And then they gave her her own solo series. And that solo series was headed up by Gabby Riviera, who, oh my God, that book was absolutely terrible. And I can prove it was terrible. I don't have to sit here and speculate. What I can do is go to Comic-Con March 2017, and I can show you the very first issue that shipped. It says America, #1, $3.99 Marvel. Shipped 43,592 issues. That's all it's shipped. Now, if it was good, it would be like Immortal Hulk, which didn't ship with high numbers, but through word of mouth and praise on videos like I made about it, because I liked that book so much before it collapsed, it grew. It became one of the top sellers in comic books. Now, this book should do the same. It doesn't. Let's go to December 2017. This is a little while down the road. I wonder what this book will be at. Oh, issue 10, 12/2017. It shipped 7,971 issues. In my previous videos, I've sat there and I told you guys, this is what's going to happen to New Mutants, because this is what happens to books like New Mutants. People don't buy them. People don't buy them. People don't want them because they're trash. They're trash books. They're not good. They're made for some weird niche audience that is not going to support a book. Okay? They're not. They never do. This happens time and time again. Now, if you were to write the book well and do a good job, things can change. But 9 times out of 10, they don't. Because the people that work on these books are talentless and so super woke that they just let all of these roadblocks get in the way of their creativity. And let's face facts here. If you want to get into Marvel and DC Comics now, you got to have the right way of thinking. This is what spawned the whole Comicsgate thing, because anybody in the mainstream that doesn't have the right opinions gets booted out. Look what happened to Sean Gordon Murphy recently because he wanted to do a cover for Doug TenNapel. They came after him hard, real hard. And what happened? He had to distance himself because of what happened. And he bent the knee. But if he hadn't bent the knee, what would have happened? He just had a new Batman Murphyverse announced. Okay? There's probably a lot of money in that deal for him. And he could have potentially lost it. This is the cancel culture of comic books. And this is why comic books are likely going to crash. They don't give a damn about comic shops. This is the best time to release America. I would have delayed this book. I wouldn't be putting out New Mutants. I would make changes because the way the economy is going right now, comic book shops are probably not going to last. If we hit a recession, and I think we're going to, the first thing people are going to cut are comics. I'm not working right now. Even I'm laid off right now. Everybody's laid off. Okay? So I'm not working. I need to save my pennies. Do you really think people are going to buy America and New Mutants? No. Look at issue 12. It got worse. Here's issue 12 of America. 6,482. This is the last issue. They let that book, okay, and ignore all these other books. This G.I. Joe Real American Hero book, that's IDW. That's not Marvel. Okay? DC, American, way those above and below. So these are like more of a niche book. This probably got canceled too. I don't know anything about this book. But Marvel consistently puts out books like this. And they'll let them drop to 6,000 issues because they're so concerned with pushing all of their trash that they don't give a damn about money or making money. And this is the problem in the comic book industry. They don't care about making money. And because they don't care about making money, shops that depend on making money fail. It's a weird system because the shops are capitalism, but the company making the books is socialism. So because of that, it's just been doomed to fail since the start of this whole progressive push at Marvel. And now we're bringing one back. Now, to be fair, and I'm going to be fair here, this America Chavez book has a whole new creative team on it. So Gabby Riviera, who wrote this book into the ground, there's literally a scene. Go watch your boy Zach's. I'm sure they're still up. You could probably search his videos and find all of his America book reviews where he roasts the hell out of this book. And watch how bad they are. There's literally scenes where she's sitting there crying over a dead cat for half an issue, staring at it in the road. That's where the name of his comic book company, Splato del Gato, came from. Okay? That was probably one of his best videos, to be honest. So that book was terrible. But to be fair, this is a whole new creative team. It could end up being a good book. I don't want to say it's going to be a bad book. However, like I said in one of my last videos, is this really the time to release a gamble book like this? When shops really can't afford to buy extra books. What you should be doing right now is canceling books the best you can and putting out books like Batman and stuff just to tide the waters, to make everything kind of go well. But taking gambling on woke book after woke book right now is not the best idea. Do you think they're going to cancel this book? No. They're going to put it out, 20-something variant covers. It's going to launch even worse than the original at 43,000. I guarantee you this book puts out 30. I bet you 20 through 30,000 shipped, and it's going to end up just like this book because nobody cares. And you've already the best way to save a character like this is to put her in a team-up book that actually sells for a while. get people interested in the character, and then do it. They did it with West Coast Avengers, but that book was trash. It sucked. It was another woke book. So this isn't going to sell. And this is just more doubling down. So this tells me there's going to be more books like this announced. I would say, because you just had New Mutants, now you have this. So what I think is going to happen is all of the crazy characters that everyone hated that they tried to push a couple of years ago, they're bringing them all back, and they're going to do it this summer. There's a reason that they have a whole event that rips off Civil War about young characters are not allowed by law to be superheroes. So characters like America Chavez are going to be the spotlight this summer. And guess what? Each time they launch a book, a comic book shop is going to close, because I'm going to tell you, if things keep getting worse, comic shops aren't going to last this year. You're going to see an acceleration to the end of the comic book industry. And that's just facts, because the first thing that people cut in hard times are luxury items. And I'm sorry, but comic books are 100% a luxury item. Should I buy a $4 book with this character in it, or should I go buy some bread? You tell me. Marvel should be ashamed of themselves. And they don't care. They just keep doing it year after year. And if they weren't attached to Disney, they'd be out of business. Maybe the movies would definitely still be around, but comics would not be. And they're 100% the reason that the industry is in the state it's been in for the past couple of years, because they don't care about making money. They don't need to. Disney puts money in their pockets. So anyway, thanks for watching. Leave me your comments. I'd like to hear what you have to say. What do you think about Marvel doing this shit again? I'd like to hear what you have to say about that. Also, share the video, throw a like up, and make sure you're still subscribed. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.